So this kit is the advanced starter kit. It takes in high quality equipment, but without having the highest price range in the products that are available on the market today. So what do we get in this kit? Well, first of all, you get one of the most popular airbrushes on the market today, the Iwata HPCP. It's a 0.3 mil, and that's capable of a hairline up to a 1-inch fan pattern. In the box there, you get a small super lube, it's a 0.7, and you also get a nozzle wrench for taking your nozzles on and off. So that's what you get in the actual kit. The airbrush itself comes with a cup with a lid on top, so it's gravity fed. You've got a trigger, which is a dual action, so it's down for air, back for material. Now the trigger has got knurling, so it's comfortable. That's a new inclusion on the airbrush. And you've got an end stop. Now the end stop, as you wind it out, allows your trigger to travel further, which means more material, or if you wind it in, it travels less, and that's less material, so you can control your airflow. So that is the airbrush. This is matched to these paints as well. So as far as the compressor is concerned, we picked the IS875, the smartjet Pro. So this is a fantastic compressor. With this airbrush, we got 30 psi at the airbrush flat out. It's a 1/8 of a horsepower, and it's got 18 litres of air per minute, and it's only 5.6 kilos in weight. It comes with a 1-year Australia-wide warranty, as does the airbrush. The airbrush is not covered for needles, nozzles, O-rings, damage, drops, that sort of thing. So that's what you get. So with the actual compressor, it's got a handle on top, and it's got an airbrush holder for your airbrush to go into. Now on top, it's also got a on-off switch, and it's got the PSI gauge. Okay, so that PSI gauge, this knob, you would pull it up, and then you can adjust the pressure as high as you want. And if you're happy with the pressure, you can either leave it there, or you can lock it in place to know that your pressure's set. It also has a moisture release valve here. So this is a moisture trap. Press the valve to let the moisture out. So off of that particular fitting there, you get a 3-meter braided hose. The 1/4-inch female VSB goes onto the thread pattern there on the moisture trap, and the other end goes to your airbrush. So also involved, you get with this particular compressor, you get a spare airbrush holder in case you break that one. And you get an adjustment nut which goes from the water hose to Paish or a Badger or an Aztec, just in case you have one of those. So that is very handy to have. We've included in this the disconnect set, the water disconnect set. There again, the male disconnect goes directly onto the bottom of your airbrush, and the female end then goes to the hose itself, and that allows you to take the airbrush off the hose for cleaning or for storage. We've also added in cleaning station, the water cleaning station. The reason for this is in a smaller environment where you might be a hobbyist at home doing models or Warhammer miniatures, that sort of thing, or even in a salon, where you don't want to overspray on your work. You pop the airbrush into the cleaning station, pull back, and with cleaner, you would clean out your airbrush into the glass jar instead of having it go all over your workshop. End of the day, you can take the glass jar off and clean it out. So as far as paints are concerned, we've got an undercoat system here. We've decided that this kit is going to be best suited to hard surfaces. So in the auto-borne sealers, which is an undercoat, you've got white, black, red, yellow, and blue. They are the popular colours. You would use those underneath the colours you're going to put on top, or you can use it even to back off your colours in the back of a remote control. So if you were painting Lexan and you painted it in sort of midnight blue, you would then use the blue to back it off, and that would give you a nice solid colour. So those particular colours are extremely useful and handy. In saying that, we've also got aluminium fine. I'll get to the reason why in a minute, but we've added a 120mm. The 120mm, that is the fine that will go through this particular airbrush. So as far as colour is concerned, we've put in transparent white and black, monochromatic. You can do some images with that practice, and obviously if you're doing some artwork on fine, the black is very popular for doing artwork. So I'll show you an image in a second that was done with these particular products. So as far as the colours are concerned, we put in the Candy 2Os. And the Candy 2Os, we've got them in 60mm sizes, as we do the auto ones are 60mm sizes. We've got blood red, we've got tequila yellow, we've got grabber orange, we've got carrot blue, deep purple, and poison green. Okay, you can also do some real fire with that. And as far as the aluminium base is concerned, jumping back to that, we've also put in the auto sealer, silver underneath the aluminium base. Works fantastic. Nice bright glow, ready for the candies. So what do you need to make the paint system work? First of all, you need reducer. So a 240mm high performance reducer. In particular, you would reduce all of these by between 10 and 25%. That would be a good starting point. The candies you only need to reduce by 10%, but the rest of the range you can reduce it up to 25%. So that would be the high performance reducer, and at the end of the day you can use it to clean your airbrush out with too. So we've also added in cleaner in between colour changes, a 240mm cleaner, very handy to have. And for the rest of it, for the actual candies in particular, you need to have mixing additives. So we've put in a 60mm of the mixing additive, the 40-30. You would put 10% into the candies. That allows the product to be stable, and it also increases flow. So you must use this in the candies. It's what makes the product work extremely well, like a urethane candy. The thing with it is though, if you add the 40-30 to any of the paint products, which you can use it in all of them by the way if you want to, you can't then store the product for more than up to 72 hours. It might go off a little bit before, but up to 72 hours is about average. And then it'll start to thicken up so it can congeal. So only mix what you're going to use, hence mix it in the airbrush, put some paint in, put a little bit of the reducer, put a bit of the 40-30 in, and off you go. Now the last product that we've put in this particular kit is transparent base. It's a 60mm transparent base 40004, and basically what we use that for is after we've done a couple of coats of the candy, then what you'll need to do, such as these particular images here of real fire, is you put a couple of coats of transparent base over the top to neutralise the surface. Now don't use any reducer in the transparent base, and don't use any of the 40-30 in it. Straight from the bottle, 1 to 2 coats, and that stops the candy from bleeding, because what candy is notorious for is if you put multiple coats down, all candies on the market do it, they will bleed through each other. So what happens is we put a couple of coats of that on after we've used maybe 2 or 3 coats of the candy, and then what that does is it puts a neutral base down, and then you can start layering more candies over the top, and it won't re-wet and it won't bleed. So this is the advanced kit. This is going to give you all you need to get going. Obviously you add things as you go to suit your own personal preferences, but this is a cracker kit.